EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
After a long two-week build-up here in the Bay Area, the moment has finally arrived. It is time for football here at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Folks, this is Super Bowl 60, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion New England Patriots taking on the NFC champions. Brennan Gordon along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this is a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either. They're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
Their meeting in Super Bowl 49 was thrilling. What's in store here? The Pats and Seahawks are underway. And we'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. And we harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
He finds Douglas complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
Play action here on the first play from scrimmage. They want to see how the linebackers are going to react. Are they looking to stop the run? Or are they going to sit back in coverage? A really nice job there of going in attack mode early, and they pick up a quick first down.
May now off the bootleg. Short pass caught by Henry. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Second down and 3. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. He's going to try and do this himself. And it'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Trevion Henderson, 25 yards. And the Patriots are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Now Andres Borregales for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Darnold now to throw. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Darnold. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. A gain of 8 there on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Back to throw, Darnold. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. And he's got it. Out of the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Kenneth Walker, 31 yards. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it was Kenneth Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. But he won't quite make it to the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. Now 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, May with it. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll throw with May. He's got his target. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
I'm probably going to send the screen. No one's
there on the 3rd down conversion.
I want to join yet. I want to end it. I wonder how I can get more viewers.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know what they do for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down. To throw, it's May. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. They'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job of getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
They'll find Henderson out of the backfield here. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
And I believe that that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down, and that will force a turnover on downs. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done, so I think going for it there was the right call.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Connecting with Cup here on the out route. And he's brought down right off off the bat. It's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. He gets this complete to Shaheed. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 28. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Darnold to throw again. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
14 back, that leads now to a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Oh no.
Here's Darnold.
3rd and 1. They had 3rd and 1 got sacked.
Taken down, back to the 25. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Myers now working on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line. The Patriots win the football here late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Here's May. Looking outside, he's got him in. That's Henry. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Any questions on how they'd approach this drive? We're answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing here is May. They'll check this down to Henderson out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Come on, let's go. Come on. Hurry up, come on.
To the air.
Come on.
And Diggs has it.
Put you up on
And he will have the Patriots
Come on.
first down.
Come on,
He
put you up there.
got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
Looking to throw. May. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And he knocks the ball away and throws incomplete.
Now the Bears
So 2
lost.
quarters in the books here in Santa Clara. The Super Bowl 60 halftime straight ahead with Scott Hansen.
I'm going to see
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Why do they always do? Why do they always report?
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half.
If this game do updates, that's why I didn't have James Daniels in that. So they
Mike Tomlin.
These 2 teams set through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's still going.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's out just shy of the 40. And the Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter.
Why is this?
And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
This game's so close. 10-7.
3rd quarter begins with a run by Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back to Walker on first down. And they'll get this just to the 47. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
I feel
Option play to give to Walker.
you could
He'll get about 4
Yeah,
at the 44-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So I want to say the Seahawks will take it. I just want to see that.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 4th Kenneth Walker. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
On fourth down, Darnold. He'll try to do it himself. And Darnold going to slide to the ground here, but not before he does pick up the first down. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because you got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of the play.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just boom, quick, and what a terrific play. Holding him to no gain.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
I'm your baby, I'm your baby is our 35.
Because when you see that type of
I get
the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw is Darnold.
Look, he ran. Oh, God.
And he won't get close.
Stop.
Like any team,
Get from over there.
touchdowns and try and help their cause.
Get from over there.
In this case, he does
Hey, get from over there.
if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Now here's
Give me the ball.
Myers. He gets set
Give it
for
to
the
me. Give me the
Seahawks
ball.
field goal.
Give me the ball.
He made his first, this from 47 yards out.
Give me the ball.
Myers' kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we kept it within range. The other side said, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got Hooper on the short connection. That's good completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive. And he takes advantage of it. Sets up a manageable second down.
Now 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3. We can do a running play. No.
And they go play action with
Henry.
Open man down the field is Henry. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
Why are they pushing?
Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
What is that?
1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. Only one quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the fourth.
The Patriots will come back. You guys think the Patriots will come back?
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. They'll run it. This is Ramondre Stevenson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the shotgun, it's May. There's Henry. Touchdown, Patriots.
What did they miss?
Hunter
Henry.
An 11-yard touchdown.
Patriots
are an extra point away from taking the lead in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where the tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
It's a tie game. It's a tie game.
Now the biggest extra point of this man's life.
He better make it.
And it is good. And his guys have taken the lead in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Following the touchdown,
they pour the game
to send this one away.
Yeah, I know. When the team wins the Super Bowl, they pour the Gatorade. A giant bucket of Gatorade.
Takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And we're at the time of the Super Bowl where they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And they work this well field across the 45. 50 yards rushing now, 8 carries for him so far.
We'll definitely see some running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Oh, they're doing a run play or faking.
Faking the give, Darnold. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call.
Didn't they say what?
Second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Darnold now to throw. He finds Smith and Jigba. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
I think we throw the cake. Okay.
A shotgun snap for Darnold.
Oh, that's sack. That's 3 sacks.
There'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion.
He got sacked.
And if we just flip it
He
around
got
from the
sacked.
offensive perspective, took a nice step forward.
He got sacked.
Leaps backwards.
Sam Darnold.
They've got to figure out a big call
Sam
coming
Darnold
up
got
there
sacked.
to try and gain
Now
the
it's
yard
2nd and
back.
17.
Now following sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Darnold. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical 3rd down here.
It always does
back
that.
To throw Darnold.
That was a lot.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawks football as we march toward a conclusion. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. This for the lead in the final stages. Myers' kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give him the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if they score, they can score.
Now he's on to kick it away.
If they get a good return. They just need a field goal.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So the Patriots now down 16-14.
They get a field goal.
54 on the clock. A field goal wins the Super Bowl, but work to do here on 1st and 10.
It's time.
They'll look to throw.
Oh, he was fine.
It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. And they're able to get
Oh, they better free up. They better free up before the time runs out.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watching drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
Back to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Yeah. Patriots come back and Patriots.
He'll look to throw.
Oh.
Got a man, Boutte. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Oh, Seattle take all these plays. They can't lose to a person who almost lost exit.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Back to throw. And this complete to Henry over the middle. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
About to get in second. I don't even know how many Super Bowls. I don't even know how many Super Bowls.
Here we go. First and goal.
First and goal. I'm gonna miss it. First and goal.
I mean, you just put it on the top.
I am.
He's back to throw. That's caught by Diggs. And he's going to be out of bounds to stop the clock. And they continue to move a little bit closer toward that potential game-winning field goal.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Stevenson is into the end zone. Touchdown, New England.
It's a 6 gallons to get a good.
What a game this has been. What a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce you to one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this one away.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5.
You better get a good return.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. He's past the 30. And able to break this out on the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the focus shifts to the Seahawks offense. Trailing by 5. Exactly 1 minute remaining. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down.
You probably might go again. If they don't close enough to score me, it says now. Go. The odds of them winning like 1 to 0.
Now Darnold. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football
56
game.
seconds left. Look, throw a deep pass.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed.
Throw it deep.
Muster a yard here to the 38.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Stop throwing quick pass.
Here's Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be shot out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. The quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Darnold to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out of the 6. Here's 2nd down and 3. Darnold. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
Oh, that's normal for players.
CD, that was an all-or-nothing in this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up there.
So what do they get a field goal range? Out of the game. OT. I don't know what New England. New England has a timeout. They have a timeout. Okay, let's see. New England has a timeout. So they might. What if New England?
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
New England's offense set to go. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched in nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep going.
What about the foul?
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout.
Oh, that would be
as they stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, there is over. Yeah, you can't be a time. Oh, if they get field goal range.
2nd and 6 coming up.
This though would be. No, that's not.
Throwing here is May. Pass complete. Here's Butte with it.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
What did we go to?
And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Go. Throw it deep.
Right to the right sideline. And it falls into the lane.
No, you're trying to get full goal range. They have to so they don't get full goal range.
So no, even if they got into it, they still be able to stop the clock. So they just don't have to kill a
Great.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. This for all the marbles. And it is going to be incomplete. Well, they got the tip they were looking for, but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl.
Look, they pour Gatorade on their coat.
And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this.